watch history here. I'll tell you, I don't know anybody ever going to break that.
At just 10 years of age, Wayne Gretzky was already dubbed the Great One. And after an absolutely stunning NHL career, setting just about every NHL record you can think of, I'd say that was about right. And that title will not fade. For perspective, he scored 92 goals in the 81-82 season, had 163 assists in 85-86. He once had a 51-game point streak and, of course, scored those 50 goals in 39 games. Just ridiculous. And all of that means when you look at the most points ever scored in a single season, Gretzky is first and second, third and fourth on that list, and he holds 8 of the top 10 seasons ever. Yeah, his legacy is cemented, but there are 2 records looking like they are about to be shattered.
It's not a question of if he's going to break the record, it's a question of when is he going to break the record.
We've obviously all seen the historic season Alexander Ovechkin, the Great 8, is having. He is on the cusp of breaking one of the greatest records there is, Wayne Gretzky's all-time record at 894. This is a story that deservedly so has captured a lot of media. But there is another story that I don't think has gotten enough attention. This is a young Sidney Crosby, who long before he ever entered the league was already dubbed the next one. Certainly a tall order to live up to, but he lived up to it. And now we're witnessing the next one also on the cusp of surpassing the Great One. Now, for both Crosby and Ovechkin, the road to the NHL started at an incredibly young age, and withstanding the pressure endured in the pursuit of greatness doesn't last the decades it has without proper mental health. That is something today's paid partner, BetterHelp, can help with. I know for me, performance anxiety is something I've dealt with personally, striving for success and perfection, wanting to perform at a high level and live up to expectations, while also facing feelings of doubt, insecurity, and not wanting to let anyone down can all quickly get very loud in our own minds. But these thoughts of self-doubt and built-up angst are not something you have to face alone. BetterHelp is here to help anyone achieve enhanced mental health by giving you the tools needed to tackle these issues. It's easy to get started. Just fill out a quick questionnaire and BetterHelp will connect you with the right therapist, in most cases within a couple of days. And if at any time you decide you and your therapist aren't a great match, or you want to switch for any reason, you can decide to do so without any added cost to you. Let BetterHelp help you rule your anxiety rather than staying in an endless loop and having your anxiety rule you. By clicking the link found in my description or by heading to betterhelp.com/nextmanup, you'll get 10% off your first month of therapy. Speaking of mental fortitude, it has been another tough year for Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins, en route to missing their 3rd consecutive playoff berth after having made the playoffs 17 consecutive years prior to that. However, one of the only bright spots on this team continues to be 87. Earlier this season, he became just the 10th player in NHL history to record 1,600 points. At 37 years of age, we just saw him lead Team Canada as the nation's captain to win gold at the Four Nations Face-Off. He recorded a multi-goal game in Vegas earlier this month to become the only player in NHL history to have a multi-goal game against 31 different NHL franchises. He's missing just the Utah Hockey Club and, of course, the Penguins. And last night against the Islanders, with his 24th of the year, he scored his 1,670th point to officially pass none other than Wayne Gretzky for 4th most points all time with a single franchise. But yet, the most impressive part of this season is that he is once again a point per game player for the 20th time. And if we go all the way back to his first goal back on October 10th of 2005,
still a loose puck picked up by Ricky, shoots and scores. I think it'll Crosby. Oh, slap me silly, Sidney.
A season in which he scored 102 points in 81 games, as he's still the youngest player to ever reach 100 points, but starting from that inaugural season to the following year where he scored 120 points in 79 games, through his next 3 seasons after that, same deal, all well over a point per game. Then came the 2010-2011 season where on a 25-game point streak, while at his absolute peak, his season was cut short with a hit that threatened the rest of his playing days as a whole. Now, luckily, of course, that wasn't the case, and 13 seasons at a point per game or higher between then and last season gets us to his 19th season, where at the age of 36, he finished the year with 94 points in 82 games, still well over a point per game, as he became just the second player in NHL history to record 19 consecutive point per game seasons, alongside only Wayne Gretzky. Which finally gets us to today, where through 68 games, he has 74 points, and with having missed 2 games prior to that Four Nations break, assuming he plays 80 games, he now needs just 6 points in the final 12 games to secure what will be his 20th consecutive point per game season. This would surpass Gretzky's 19-year run from 1979 to 1998, as he would become the only player in NHL history to achieve it. And while Gretzky played the bulk of his days in the highest scoring era in NHL history, Crosby, on the other hand, has spent a good chunk of his career in one of the lowest scoring eras. Since the start of Crosby's career, only 23 players with at least 100 games played have averaged more than a point per game. Throughout Gretzky's career, there were 51. Now, I'm sure there's some home bias here, but to me, this is just truly an incredible record. It requires an astounding amount of longevity and consistency, as it almost feels like Crosby's prime has basically been his entire career. But with all that said, it has to be said that as impressive as it is that one of the greatest records in hockey is set to be broken by Ovechkin, and that this long-standing point-per-game record will also likely be broken by Crosby, the great one and his legacy is in no way diminished. The reality is, it is going to take 2 of the best players the world has ever seen separately taking down these records. Gretzky held both of them as one man, and even then, you could take away every single one of Gretzky's 894 goals, and he'd still be the highest scoring player of all time. Yeah, GOAT. But after all of the years that these two have been linked to each other, the rivalry that has grown into admiration.
Who do you think is going to win the heart?
You.
Same question. Who will win the heart? Sidney Crosby.
First couple of years, we kind of was a different relationship. We was young, Right now, we've matured.
It's amazing what he's doing. It'll be amazing when it happens.
It is quite poetic that they are both set to break a major Gretzky record in the same season.
Doing something that you love to do, and just like enjoying it, and even getting paid to do something you love to do. I mean, can't even imagine how amazing that would be.
That's about it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it very much, and I will see you in the next one.